Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Power Plants. Power Plants is a game published by Kids Table Board Games, designed by Adam E. Dalton, plays 1 to 5 players, and 30 minutes. 30 minutes is probably correct. It is lightning fast, and before you know it, you're getting into it, game is over. So what you're doing in this game is you are taking on your sprites, a group of sprites, and you're trying to grow this garden so your sprites can thrive. And what that means is you're putting tiles down on the board, trying to grow these different patches of certain flower types or plant types to have more of your sprites on them than your opponent to score points. Each of the different plants have a special power. It's going to help make that a possibility, and you're just trying to be better than your opponent. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go on the table. Check it out.
Come on, play the game.
All right, so here's a game of power plants, all set up for 2 players. So to set up, first you're going to pick the type of plants that you're using. The rule book says you're going to use 2 day, an afternoon, and a night, and then you're going to pick another random one. So I picked a random afternoon one, so we have 5. And then you take those plants out, the tiles. You're going to put in a 2-player game. You're going to put the number 6 in the middle. You're going to remove the 7 and an 8, and you're going to put the rest of them in a bag and shuffle them up. So I did that. Then you're going to draw 3, put them aside in the nursery up here. Each player is going to draw 2, and if you draw the same tile twice, you can substitute out with the nursery. That's why they're over there. Each player is going to take all the sprites of their color, and they're going to have one of these cool player aids, which basically breaks down the pictures on those tiles in text, so you can, it gives a little more explanation. And then one player is going to get the wizard, and they're going to be the starting player. And that's set up. Now, let's talk about how the game works. So on your turn, you're going to play a tile to the garden here, and you're going to put the wizard on the tile that you play. When you play a tile, you have a couple options. You can either play the tile for its sprout action, which is the more powerful action, the first action here, or you can play it for the grow, which activates all the other tiles that are connected to it at a weaker version of their sprout action. All right, so sprout this one, do a powerful thing, grow on the adjacent ones to do a less powerful thing. And then you draw another tile out of the bag when your turn's over, and that's it. The goal of the game is to get your sprites out on these tiles to score points. It's an area control game, and as the patches grow, whoever has the most sprouts on a patch, or whoever controls the most patches, meaning they have sprouts on them, number doesn't matter, gets points. And the bigger the patch of connected type, the more points it's worth. So that's the goal of the game here. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I am first, and I think I will. Let's do this. I'm going to come over. I'll go here with my red one, my Tanglewood or Tanglethorn. Put that on there. Then I have a choice. I can either sprout, which adds 3 sprites to one patch next to the wizard, so I can put 3 here or 3 here. Or I can add 1 sprite to the wizard's patch. All right. And sometimes when you place a patch, you get to add a sprite. You can see on these 3, they have a little green with a sprite. You get to add a sprite. But on the red one, the Tanglethorn and the Honeyleaf, you do not do that. So I think I'm going to grow. So growing means I will add 1 sprite to the wizard's patch. So I'll do this. I'm growing with this action, the Tanglethorn. Oh, yeah, the Tanglethorn first, because you have to grow in this order. So I'll fire that one off. This goes here. And then I'm going to do the Snapjaw. And that is, I'm actually not going to do that. I'll just go ahead and sprout, because this one lets me capture opponent's sprites, and they don't have any, so I'll just sprout. So I will add 3 sprites to 1 patch next to the wizard, so let's just go ahead and go there. So no growing, just sprouting. So I now have 3 sprites here, and I control this 2 Tanglethorn patch. This goes to the other player, and I draw a tile. That's my turn. All right, now it's their turn. They have Emberwood and a Tanglethorn. So I think they're going to do the Emberwood. They're going to play it here. Put the wizard on it. And then do they want to sprout? No, they're going to grow. All right, so they're going to grow. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grow the honey leaf. And when I place the emberwood, see it has that, I get to put a sprite down. So I now control this one. So I'm going to grow the honey leaf, and that is add 1 sprite to each patch next to the wizard that has 1 or 0 sprites on it. So I will go here, and I will go boom and boom. Add 1 sprite to each patch next to the wizard. So I did that. Then next we're going to fire off the emberwood. And the emberwood is add 2 gems to 1 patch next to the growing emberwood. So this is a patch next. This is the growing emberwood. This is the patch that I want to put gems on. And I'll do that. If I control this tile at the end of the game, I get those 2 gems. Gems are points. So that's that. So that's growing. I did my 2 actions. Draw a new tile, and I now have a Tanglethorn. All right, then I'll take this one, and we're ready to go. All right. So I think I'm going to play this, because I want to show you how this works. So I'm going to play this one. Right there, okay? And I'm going to grow. So we start with growing. I'm going to grow this one, the Tanglethorn and the Snapjaw. Tanglethorn will go first because it's at the top. And its grow ability is add 1 sprite to the wizard's patch. And because I placed a Snapjaw, it lets me put 1 on it. And then this one will let me put another 1 on it because it grows and it puts 1 on the wizard's patch. Then I'm going to use this Snapjaw for the growing, and that is capture 1 lone sprite from a patch next to the growing Snapjaw. There's 1 lone sprite here. I capture it. So now this is mine. The opponent has to buy these back for gems. So they're going to pay me gems to get these back. So I just basically earned a point. And that's my turn. So I grew that one, got me a couple sprites, and I'm done. So I draw another tile, and I now have a green. All right. Back to this player. They are... I'm going to do this. So they're going to play this right here. And they're going to sprout. So sprouting is add 3 sprites to 1 patch next to the wizard. I don't get to put 1 on here because it has a line with no sprite to it. So I get to put 3 sprites on 1 patch next to the wizard. And I'm going to put them right here. So now we both own a tile in this red area. And you can see on these tiles they have numbers. The blue is now on a 4. My purple ones are on a 6. So you control the lower number, you are winning if there's a tie. So at this point, blue is winning this patch. That's their turn. So they take another tile. All right, back to me. I am going to... I'm going to do this right there. Put the wizard on it. And now I get to grow this one, and this one. I'm going to do the growing. So we'll start with purple because it's above the orange. So the grow for purple is gain 1 gem for each patch next to the wizard that has at least 1 sprite. So I'll get 1 gem. So I have 1 gem. Not a great turn, but I wanted to keep growing that thing. And then we're going to do the Snapjaw. Capture 1 lone rival sprite from a patch next to the growing. There aren't any, so that's that. I guess we would also do this one as well. Gain 1 gem for each patch next to the wizard that has sprites, so I get another one. And that's that. So that was my turn. Not the best of turns, but... Oh, and I still get to put a sprite down because I played that. So I at least get to control that area, so that's good. All right. That's my turn. I'll draw a tile. They are... They're going to do this. They'll play this one. No, right there. They're going to go right there. And I think... they're going to grow. So they're going to grow. They're going to grow the starflower and the snapjaw. Starflower goes first. Gain 1 gem for each patch next to the wizard that has a sprite. So they'll get 2 gems. And when they play the snapjaw, they also get to put one of their people down. I always forget that, but you get to put one of your sprites down. And then they're going to grow the snapjaw. Capture 1 lone sprite from a patch next. So this is a single lone sprite, so they capture that. Now I have to pay them a point to get that back. All right, done. They'll draw a tile. I'll get the wizard. Snapjaw. All right, I'm gonna play this Emberwood right here. Emberwood lets me put a free sprite down. And then I think I'm going to do, I'm going to sprout it. So I get to add 1 sprite and 5 gems to 1 patch next to the wizard. So let's do this one and 5 gems. Again, if you own this tile, you get 5 gems. And that's my turn. Because I sprouted, I only activate this tile. Alright, this player, I think they're going to try to get some on purple, so they'll go here. Put the wizard. They get a free sprite for that. And then they're going to let's just grow it. So they're going to grow these 2 purple ones. Gain 1 gem for each patch next to the wizard with at least 1 sprite. So, yeah, that's not really the best place to go, but because they can't grow any of these because there's no sprites next to the wizard. But they have a sprite there, they control that field, and they'll go with that. Not the most ideal move, but that's where we are. Alright, so they have a honey leaf, and I'm going to play the honey leaf. And I think I'm going to put that honey leaf right here. So I get to activate 3 tiles, which is fun. And I think I'm going to grow the honey leaf. So we'll start with the honey leaf first because it's at the top. So I'm going to add 1 sprite to each patch next to the wizard that has 1 or 0 sprites on it. All right, so I have to add a sprite here. They have a sprite. So when I add mine, it removes theirs. There can only be 1 sprite of each type on a tile. Then they're going to add 1 here. And then this will boot that one out because I'm going to add 1 there. All right. So I got 1 tile down and all that. 1 sprite down. Then we're going to go to the starflower. And the starflower is gain 1 gem for each patch next to the wizard that has at least 1 sprite. So I get 1 gem. And then this one, same thing. I'll get 1 gem. So I got 1 sprite on the board and 2 gems for that. Not too bad. I get to draw a tile. Alright, so I drew a purple. Let's take this red one, Tanglethorn. Alright, back to this player. They're going to get in on this game as well. They're going to go right there. And what do they want to do? Do they want to... I think they're going to do the sprout power. So that's going to let them add 2 sprites to each patch next to the wizard that has 1 or 0 sprites on it. So this will get 2 because it has 1. And this one will get 2 because it has 0. And I don't get to put a sprite on this tile because it doesn't let me do that. And that's their turn. They're done. Let's do... Let's do this. So I'm going to put the Tanglethorn here. The Tanglethorn does not give you a free sprite, but I'm going to grow. So I'm going to grow 2 Tanglethorns and an Emberwood. So the Emberwood will, the Tanglethorn will go first. So let's start with this one. So to grow it, add 1 sprite to the wizard's patch. So 1 sprite here. This one will grow, add 1 sprite to the wizard's patch. And then this Emberwood will grow, add 2 gems to 1 patch next to the growing Emberwood. So let's do this one, the wizard's patch. Sounds good. All right, there we go, done. That was my turn. I'll draw a tile. Done. All right, and that's how the game's going to play until the bag runs out, which we're actually getting pretty close. And then each player will take one more turn, so everybody has the equal amount of turns. And then you're going to score. The scoring is on the back of this card because there's alternate flowers or plants that we can use as well. They're a little more detailed. So gems earned during the game are going to score you points, so there. Then we're going to get some plant cards described in-game scoring. So the snap draw here, we'd have to give each player would have to give a gem up to buy their player back, so they're going to get some more points. And then score points for each field according to the sprite. So let's go ahead and show you how that works. When you're scoring, you're just going to take them and break them apart from the field. And then you're going to score. And any tile that you control that has gems, so I would get those gems. Blue would get these gems. I would get these gems, so that'll add to my score. Then you're going to look and see who has a sprite on the lowest tile. Whoever has the most sprites, so in this case, I win this one because I have the most. If it was tied, we'd look at the number, and I would still win because I had the lower number. Then you're going to score points. The points are a patch of 4 gets 7 points. And the second player would get 3. So I get 7 gems, and the other player would get 3. And then this can just go away because we scored that. All right, then we'll look at the snap draw here. It's a tie because we each control one field or one tile. They're on the 3, so they win that. And number 3 is 5 points, so they'll get 5. I'll get 2. All right, did that. Purple is only me. It's a set of 3, so I get a 5. This yellow is only blue. It's a 3, so they get 5. And then this one is both of us with blue being on a 5, with me being on a I have 2 tiles, so it doesn't matter. So I'm on 3, so I get 5, and they get 2. And then you're going to add up all your gems. Whoever has the most gems is the winner. And that's effectively the game. There's I wasn't playing as best as I could. I didn't play through the whole game. There'd be more points than that, but that's how it goes. If you ever run out of sprites, you can start taking them off of patches that you have on the board, because sometimes you may get 5 or 6 sprites on a tile that can't be moved, so you can just pull those off. That's fine. There's 8 different types of plants. You're going to use 5 each game. There's also alternative types for each of them. So there's technically 16 different plants that you can play with however you would like to get a bunch of variety. And each of the plants are going to function differently and all that kind of thing. So you have a lot of replayability. So that is power plants. Let's go up the top. See what I think about it.
What do you think, son? What do you think?
All right, well, that was power plants. So first off, let's look at the components. Box art. Gorgeous. I love this company's games. We have some on our shelves. There's one over there in the box. I love them. Art is great. This art is by Apolline Etienne. I probably said that incorrectly, but there's the name at the bottom. I think they've done art for one of their other games. Great art. The bits are fantastic, and this is not the Kickstarter version. The plant tiles are these cool wood. Like, I don't know if they're wood, but a cool material. They fit together really cool. I love all that. Great pictures. You can read it clearly. They're different colors. The sprites are cute little like fairy people. They're adorable. Components are top notch, as are most kids table board games. There's a nice bag in there. It's at the bottom. I'm not going to get it out. Rulebook is super clear and small. Tells you how to play the game. I missed a couple things when I played it the first time, but if you're good at reading rulebooks and not me, it'll have no problem. So this game is great. It's right up there with all the other kids table board games. Fun to play, easy to teach, easy to learn. Not a lot to do on your turn, but every decision means so much. You have to make sure that you're not setting up your opponent. You're trying to get your sprites out on the board and appropriate to score the most points. Pay attention to all the powers. Use them to your benefit. Do you want to sprout? Do you want to grow? There's so much stuff to do, and this game is just really fun. It's not their deepest game, for sure, but it's definitely one that I enjoy. And I'm going to give this a BGM. Let's cut the seal. This is going to get an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Power Plants from Kids Table Board Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.